Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Nick Dyson and I'm here to help you unlock your future through leadership and personal development and communication. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about leadership versus management. Now, if you go out on YouTube and you start to look for other leadership YouTubers, you're going to run into one of two things. You're going to run into people that are solely focused on leadership or solely focused on management. Now, here's the fun part. There's some that try to blur the line between those two. They will say, oh, this is a leadership channel. We talk about leadership, and then the vast majority of their content is actually just management. But what does that even mean? How is there a difference between leadership and management? Well, in truth, they're actually quite a bit different. So I have an MBA from Liberty University. We took classes specifically on leadership as well as management. Even going back to when I first started and was going through community college, I had a teacher that specifically called out the differences between leadership and management. So I've got an example for us just to walk through and talk about a few statements that an author made years ago that'll help us differentiate between the two. So the author is Warren Bennis, and he wrote a book called On Becoming a Leader. This is kind of an old book now, but I think the things that he explains and the statements that he makes in this book will help us to determine the difference between leadership and management. Now, from a very high level, this is the way I view it. This is the way I will share it to you. Management is very systems and process oriented, meaning they have authority. They're a positional leader, and they're going to give you instructions and tell you what to do. A leader is someone that cares about the person. The manager is going to be focused on the job and the task. The leader is going to be focused on the person first that gets the job done. So I hope that kind of gives you a frame of mind. Now, Warren Bennis, the first statement that he makes, the manager administers, the leader innovates. So in this, kind of the concept is that there's a policy or a procedure or something that is set down in a company. The manager looks at it and says, okay, we need to do it this way. So employee ABC, go do these tasks in this way. The leader looks and questions and says, okay, well, that's the way the company's done it, but is there a better way? What are the best skill sets of my employees? What are the best ways to allocate their time? Can we turn this into a learning experiment? Could we maybe improve the process? Could we maybe do a Lean, Six Sigma, Kaizen event around this? And can we find a way to improve this process and make it better, and what can we learn from it? That is the leader's mindset. So the next statement he makes, the manager is a copy, the leader is an original. Now, so often when business schools and companies are churning out management, they're going to be carbon copies of each other because there's going to be a manager that's teaching the employees to do processes, tasks. This is the way you do it, step by step, go through this order. Then when those employees get experience, get trained, and grow in their role, they get promoted to management. And what do they know? Do these tasks in this order, in this way. So you're getting basically just a carbon copy of the same manager that's been in place, which a lot of companies like. But the leader is going to be more original. It's kind of the idea of hiring somebody from the outside of your company to come in and take over that leadership or management role. They're going to come in and they're kind of going to look at things and say, okay, well, you guys do it this way, but at my prior company, we did it this other way. Could we maybe try to merge the two together? Maybe we look at a little different way to approach this. Or maybe they look and say, wow, management really hasn't cared about its people. They're not really investing in the people or training them or developing them. I'm going to make that my focus. They're going to be very different. They're going to be original and not the same as any other manager that's been in that type of role. A leader is unique to themselves. Now, we can look at leadership greats of John Maxwell, Simon Sinek. We can look at Steve Jobs. We can look at all of these great leaders in politics or business or entrepreneurship or YouTube or wherever you want to. But I want you to realize something. Not all of them are the same. Every single one of them has maybe similar characteristics. Maybe some are better communicators than others. Maybe some are better at being more inspirational than others. Some are better at teaching than others. Every single one has different traits. They may be similar in some, different in others. They're not going to be copies of the original, like a manager that's just been taught this is how you have to do things is going to be. That is a difference between a manager and a leader. The third statement, the manager maintains, the leader develops. So one of the problems with a lot of management in corporate America, and I feel sure it may even occur elsewhere in the world, is very much status quo. That this is the way we do it, this is how we succeed, this is how we make more profits, this is the way we need to do things. And it's just follow step A, B, C, and repeat. There's nothing new, nothing original, and it's just all going through the same cycle. Oh my gosh, guys, can we please stop going through the same cycle and actually stop, take a step back and say, how can we make this better? It's one of my biggest pet peeves when I see companies and jobs and different things in interviews where I've talked to, and there's so many situations where this is the way we do things. And I'm like, great, why? Why can't you innovate? Why can't you try something different? But instead, a leader in this type of position would develop. They want to develop the people. They want to develop the systems. They want to develop the processes to make it more beneficial and to better grow the organization as a whole. So next statement, the manager focuses on systems and structure. The leader focuses on people. So again, it's task-oriented, going through the job, doing what you're responsible for, getting the task done, just working A, B, C, repeat, just following through. The leader's gonna actually care about the people. What do they have going on? Is maybe their performance is down. Well, what's going on in their personal life? Do they maybe have some issues in their marriage? Maybe their kid is sick. Maybe a parent is getting elderly and is going into an assisted living facility. Whatever the case may be, this person may have things on their mind. The leader will care about the people and what they have going on, where a manager just wants you to get the job done. So that's a very distinct difference between a manager and a leader that you have to be careful with. The next statement, the manager relies on control, the leader inspires trust. So a manager, so often, you may have seen the image, I'll throw it up here on screen, where managers kind of sitting back and telling people what to do. You go and do this because I'm your manager and I say so. The leader's going to be in the weeds with somebody. Hey, let's do this together. Let's accomplish this together. That is a big difference between a manager and a leader. The leader is going to be there with the people, inspiring them and getting them to trust them because they're in the weeds and in the works there at the same time. Manager is just going to be giving instructions and orders. That's not leadership, that's management. So the next statement, the manager has a short range view, the leader has a long range perspective. Again, manager is looking at how do we get the job done today? How do we increase profits, maintain the status quo? The leader's looking at how can we develop, grow people, inspire them, get them to stay with the company, get them to grow into better roles, get them to find the job that they're interested in, not just stay in this department or this job. Maybe they go to another department or another job, but how can we help them grow and develop in their career and in their life to achieve their goals? That is a leadership mindset. The next statement, the manager asks how and when, the leader asks what and how. So the manager is going to be looking on how do we do it and when do we have to have it done by, because then we can create a system, a process, we have a deadline and all of that. A leader is going to be asking, okay, what needs to be done and why are we doing it that way? Because they want to know why. They want to understand. They want to know why we're doing the things that we're doing. Why are we training people the way that we're training them? We want to understand so that we can improve. We can grow people. We can encourage them. We can inspire them. We can help them to be better versions of themselves. That is leadership versus management. The next statement, the manager has his or her eye always on the bottom line. The leader's eye is on the horizon. Again, looking at finances, getting the job done, the task, where a leader is looking at, okay, what's the long-term vision? How can we get the company to grow exponentially? Maybe we hit the bottom line now. Maybe the manager's focused on let's just be kind of conservative and get things done now. The leader's looking at how can we do things in 20 years better? How can we do things in 5 years better? How can we get there? The next statement, the manager intimidates, the leader originates. Managers so often rely on their positional authority. I'm the manager, this is what I say to do, now go and do it. The leader is going to be somebody who is more original. They're going to find unique ways to get people involved. They're going to inspire that trust and that confidence, and people are going to want to work for a good leader where they leave jobs because of a bad manager. Big difference between those two. Next up, the manager accepts the status quo, the leader challenges it. I think we've covered that plenty in the prior statement, so I'm not going to keep hitting you with that one there. The manager is the classic good soldier. The leader is his or her own person. So again, this is very similar. The manager is going to be your regular corporate manager. Just do the job, get your job done, whatever it takes, whatever hours, whatever task, whatever, just do A, B, C, just get it done. The leader is going to be his or her own person. They're going to inspire, they're going to have confidence, they're going to challenge the different things. And again, people will want to work for a good leader, not a bad manager. So the last statement that Warren Bennis has on this list for today, the manager does things right, the leader does the right thing. So the manager is going to get the job done. They're going to go through the task, they're going to go through the order, the systems, whatever the case may be, and they will get the job done. The leader is going to do things right by the people. Maybe the deadline is pushed just slightly, or maybe it's done in a little different way than what was originally outlined. But maybe because of that, it gave somebody an opportunity to learn, to expand their horizons, to grow, to do something a little different than maybe their normal job responsibilities, but it helped teach them something in some way. That is a leader on the job as opposed to a manager. Now, summarizing all of this, bringing it up to a close for this video. Management and leadership. You need both in a corporate office job, things like that. You need to have some task-oriented mindset. But if you're going to truly inspire people and want them to work for you, you need to be a leader. Now, on the flip side, if you are strictly a manager, people are not going to want to work for you. That's the downside and the risk of management. On the flip side of that, even, if you're nothing but a leader and you're all the time trying to people please and encourage and inspire people, and you fail to acknowledge tasks and responsibilities, jobs are going to fall short. They're not going to meet the bottom line, and they're not going to accomplish all of the goals, but people are going to be happy, but that's not sustainable long-term for the organization. You need a balance of the two, and you need to balance those two with respect to the position, the responsibilities, but care about the people if you're going to be a successful leader. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the difference between a leader versus a manager and kind of how that plays a role in the business world. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Going to be posting more content like this and much, much more. So follow along, and I hope you join me on the next video.